if you bought a $5 million gas retail and you met the revenue test, you'd be able to take 80% of the $5 million or $4 million today, this year, and apply it against your 2023 taxes.
What industries are you guys seeing that are typically really, really good for a cost seg study?
Well, you hit the nail on the head. First off, if you've purchased any kind of building, you need to look into it to see if you benefit from cost seg. The more complex the building is, the more components within the building, the more offices within the building is going to increase its potential bonus depreciation. In other words, a medical dental building is going to fare a little bit better from a cost seg standpoint than a warehouse. Because what is a warehouse? It's nothing more than four walls and an empty space in between. So there's not a lot of complexity to that. There's certain industries, though, that really hit a home run. The IRS grants favorite recap to gas retail. So if you're a gas station, let's say a 7-Eleven that also has a retail and gas combined, a couple of qualifying points you have to make. If 50% or more of your revenues come from gas sales, then you qualify for a 100% write-off. That was if it was put in place prior to 2023. If you put it in place in 2023, you get 80%. So if you bought a $5 million gas retail and you met the revenue test, you'd be able to take 80% of the $5 million or $4 million today, this year, and apply it against your 2023 taxes. Car washes. Primarily what we call the tunnel type car wash. That's where it's just a single building. They don't sell food there. They don't have a coffee shop or whatever. But if it's just a basic tunnel type car wash, those also qualify for the 100%, now 80% write-off. Another good industry over the last several years is short-term rental market.
Airbnbs, VRBOs, right.
Right. Yeah, those tend to do very well because typically those are highly amenitized. Especially the higher end ones, you got the granite countertops, hardwood floors, finely finished bathrooms and kitchens and so forth. And all of that qualifies for typically 5-year asset life. So it would all qualify for the bonus. Oh. So we're finding sometimes if you purchase $1 million Airbnb, upwards of 40% of it, perhaps 400,000 of it would qualify for a first year bonus.
That's interesting.
And then on the flip side, some of the less complicated buildings have done a ton of like Dollar General stores. Again, what is a Dollar General store? It's nothing more than a small warehouse with a couple of offices and a bathroom, perhaps. But even those typically qualify for about 25% of purchase price will be reclassified. So going back to your original statement, anything and everything in between. The first thing to do is just check to see how much, check with us. We'll turn over an estimate within 24 hours and let you know exactly how much we estimate that it'll qualify for accelerated depreciation.
What about the property owner who's owned the property for 20 plus years?
Yeah, traditionally, from a return on investment standpoint, in terms of what they're gonna pay us for our fee versus a return on that, it's really going to be diminished. So we normally will draw the line at anything purchased within the last 5 to 7 years. That way, you're going to get the biggest bang for the buck from our analysis.
It might make sense for that 20-year property owner if they put in $500,000 of renovations. Then it may make sense to do the cost seg study. So it's not just also for newly purchased property. That tends to be more of what we see, but it also qualifies for any renovations. And typically anything above $250,000 is going to be good for cost seg in a renovation standpoint.
That brings up, this question. Are there certain minimums and stuff that you guys have that you're like, okay, at this point, it doesn't make any sense?
Yeah, so typically the bottom, so CSSI, we've done 30,000 studies. We're actually the largest engineering cost seg firm in the U.S. And we've done cost seg studies on properties from 150,000 all the way up to 750 million. Where we typically like to go, where we see like the best return on investment is going to be that property right around 300,000. That's where the cost seg study fee, the accelerated depreciation makes sense. One of the, we can also touch on this a little bit later, but one of the stigmas is, well, I have to have, a tens of $1 million property, a huge hotel or something. It's not true. A lot of our clients fall within that $800,000 up to 5-10 million. We do like working with the 25 million plus properties, but as we're saying, one of the hottest markets is that short-term rental. So that maybe $1.2 million home that you're purchasing up, those are perfect. And that's where you start seeing that snowball effect of get your accelerated depreciation, and then go find another property. And that's what's enabling these, kind of ma and pa investors to really create that generational wealth under them.
But as Sean alluded to, just a $300,000 single family home that you've put out for rental, that would qualify, and you'd get a decent return on your investment as well.